Guests and graduates, welcome to this Birmingham City University Award ceremony. We'll be opening proceedings in the next few minutes. I just wanted to make some important announcements and requests first to ensure that everyone can fully enjoy the occasion. Please, could I ask you to turn all mobile phones to silent or switch them off completely? We do welcome the taking of photos and video, but if you are doing so, please do not stand or block the view of others in the audience. We've got more than 250 students graduating today, and each one who crosses the stage is really important to us. So please do clap and cheer as loudly as you wish for when your graduate crosses the stage, and allow others to do so without distraction when their graduate is crossing. The ceremony is expected to last approximately an hour. In our experience, small children can become restless during proceedings and sometimes even a little noisy. If your child does become unsettled, can we please ask you to move quietly out of the hall in order that they do not distract other guests and graduates from their enjoyment. We have a comfortable viewing room where you can still watch the proceedings and tend to your child. Your nearest door steward will be able to direct you. Graduates, this bit is important for you. You've been seated carefully and in a particular order to ensure that every person crosses the stage in the correct sequence. Please do stay in your assigned seat, and when you're asked to come out of your row and move around to the corridor ready to cross the stage, please do not move out of your assigned order. It is absolutely essential that you are sitting in the seat indicated on your student registration card. If you have moved seat for any reason, please move back to your correct seat now. Graduation ceremonies are formal occasions that do follow a traditional format. They begin with a fanfare, following which the academic procession and the chancellor's procession will enter the hall. At the end of the ceremony, once the Chancellor closes proceedings, could I please ask graduates to stand once again and for guests to remain in your seats until the procession has exited the hall, after which you'll be able to leave and join your party to celebrate your graduates' achievements in the Symphony Hall foyer with some live music. Now we're about to begin. Can I please ask everyone to please stand as the processions enter the hall?
Well, good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to declare this congregation open. Can I please invite you to take your seats, make yourselves comfortable on this gloriously warm summer's day. It's my pleasure to preside over this ceremony as Pro-Chancellor of the University, and I'm delighted to be part of such a wonderful celebration of our students' achievements in the company of families and friends. Please show a warm welcome now to our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Philip Plowden, as I call upon him to give the opening address.
Pro-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, all of you who are graduating. I am delighted to welcome you all to Birmingham City University's graduation ceremony, especially since today marks the first ceremonies we've been able to hold in person since January 2020. So, welcome back to Symphony Hall here in the heart of Birmingham, for a day we thought at some points was never going to happen again. Now, graduation is always a pleasure because it's such a special day. It's a day for celebration for you, our graduands, for our university community, many of whom are gathered behind me, and for all the friends, families and supporters who are here. But I have to say that today has felt like even more of a distinctive occasion than it would have done before the pandemic. After the last 2 years, these ceremonies are very special indeed. So thank you to all of you who have made the time to join us to celebrate today. And I know that those of you who are graduating this summer have had one of the most unusual student experiences any of us will have experienced. But we're here, and we're now in a position to be able to give you the celebration you deserve. And I'm delighted that during the next month or so, we will do what we always promised for all of our students and give each and every student who has graduated from Birmingham City University over the past couple of years the opportunity to participate in one of these ceremonies, to celebrate without restrictions and without compromise. So graduates, this is above all your day, but this year we also need to start by acknowledging all of those who've supported you on what has been such an exceptional journey. Now around me are some of the staff who've supported you in your learning and who are as proud of your achievement as you are. And of course, all throughout this amazing hall are your family, your friends, your supporters, the people who have been there for you when times were tough. So let's start the ceremony, graduates, by thanking the academics and support staff at BCU and friends, family and supporters who've been such an important part of your success. Now, the period of your studies has been one where you have seen change on a grand scale, change which has impacted on every aspect of all of our lives. And you, our graduates, and the rest of our BCU student community know this better than most. But I hope that despite this challenge, your time at BCU has been memorable for all the right reasons as well. That sense of community, of friendship, of learning. And I hope that you can reflect on the challenges of the pandemic and remind yourself of the determination and adaptability that each and every one of you has had to demonstrate, because it's going to stand you in great stead for your future. So this has been a time when the university itself has continued to develop and to change, from some of the redevelopment of the skills hub down at City South, which is underway even now, to the refurbishment of the old Belmont Works up on our city centre campus. And I have to say it's great to bring the Belmont Works building back into use because it's a symbol of the way in which this university is part of the fabric of the city and has been for almost 180 years now. There's such a buzz and excitement in Birmingham this summer. Of course, Birmingham is often full of excitement because it's one of the youngest cities in Europe, and the diversity of the city and its communities give it a rich and distinctive cultural offer. But all around us, the city has continued to change. The hall in which we're sitting has undergone a remarkable facelift, complementing the new Centenary Square outside and all of those developments around Paradise Circus. And each week brings announcements of new businesses coming into the city and new cultural developments, whether it's film studios and production facilities or the region's thriving digital industries. And of course, at the moment, there's that particular sense of excitement as we prepare for the Commonwealth Games, just a couple of weeks away now. It's just a wonderful time to be here in Birmingham. And I know that there are many individuals across our community who are taking every opportunity the Games has presented, whether that's spectating or volunteering or working at the Games. And because BCU is so deeply part of our city, it's no surprise to see how our students are part of the preparation for the Games. We've seen our costume design students create the costumes for the opening event of the Birmingham 2022 Festival. And our jewellery students have continued a long heritage of medal making right here in the city, because they're the ones who have designed the medals which the athletes will be presented with on the podium. These links with the Games going on in the city reinforce our mission as the university for our city, and they underline our rich creative heritage. The last couple of years have made clear why what happens in universities is so important to the city, region, to the country as a whole. The role of research, the role of knowledge creation, the development of new practices, and nothing could bring this more vividly to life than the speed at which the new vaccines were developed to help moderate the impact of the recent pandemic. Knowledge has never been more important, and that's something that each of you provides evidence of as you celebrate your graduation today. And that's why this ceremony today is so important, because it's right and it's important that we gather formally to recognise what you've achieved. Because graduates are important, and in every society you are important. You live longer, you're more productive. Graduates contribute more to society around them. They're more likely to volunteer, to vote, to lead. Graduates have better health. They drink less, allegedly. And above all, graduates are better placed to deal with change. Now, I hope that many of you are going to live long, long lives. And during your lives, the world in which you live will change not once, but many, many times. You'll have probably not one career, but many careers. And even in the career that you have, you will often need to master new skills, new knowledge, and to learn afresh. And that's why being a graduate is so important, because you have the skills that equip you to learn. You have the habits of learning. And today, we don't just celebrate what you've achieved, but also what you're going to go on to achieve in your future. Our history can be traced all the way back to 1843. And in that past almost 180 years now, we have changed often and often. But we have stayed true to that founding purpose that led to us being set up. We remain focused on learning that makes a difference in the world around us, in ensuring that our graduates all around the world make a difference in their societies. So, my challenge to you is to celebrate your personal achievement, your personal transformation, but to see it as part of a broader commitment, a commitment to transforming the world around you. You've all seen the IMBCU images around campus and the city. And that came from you guys. That came from our students who told us that being part of BCU meant something in particular. It meant pride, it meant confidence, and above all, it meant community. So IMBCU is not just a slogan, it's about being part of an extraordinary community. And you'll always be part of that and part of our outstanding alumni body. But today is very much your day. And it's the day when you celebrate achieving what you set out to do, what must feel a very long time ago. So I salute you. Well done. I now call upon the Pro-Vice-Chancellor and the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Health Education and Life Sciences, Professor Ian Blair, to commence the presentation of award holders, and on the Pro-Chancellor to receive the students.
Sadly, the first award this evening is to be made posthumously to Thomas Anthony James O'Connor, one of our former students from the faculty. It is with the university's sincere condolences I would like to welcome Thomas's wife and daughter to receive the posthumous award of Postgraduate Diploma Education Early Years on his behalf. Pro-Chancellor. As Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Executive Dean, I present students from the Faculty of Health, Education and Life Sciences who have qualified for the award of degrees, diplomas and certificates. I commence by presenting the candidates for the award of research degree. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled A Story About Stories, an investigation into the role of storytelling in professional education, I present Dr. Georgina Garbett. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled Educational Encounters, Hybrid Identities and Spectral Traces, Contesting the Myths of Aston through the Account of South Asian Muslim Women, I present Dr. Balwant Kaur. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled The Implications of the Government's Assessment Without Levels Reform for Teachers in Primary Schools, I present Dr. Victoria Birmingham. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled Parents and Practitioners, Perspectives on How an Open Listening Climate in Early Years Settings Can Facilitate Child Voice, I present Dr. Alison Moore. For the award of Doctor of Education for a thesis entitled An Exploration of the Factors Which Shape Military Nursing Students' Experience of Pre-Registration Nurse Education in the Absence of Military Nurse Lecturers, a Constructivist Grounded Theory, I present Dr. Lindsay Blake. For the award of Doctor of Education for a thesis entitled Neoliberal Tensions in the English Education System, What factors influence schools' decisions about joining a multi-academy trust? I present Dr. Ian Dews. For the award of Doctor of Education for a thesis entitled Using Student Data to Identify Students Who Are at Risk of Failing to Progress, I present Dr. Simon Hadley. I now invite Professor Kevin Mattinson to the lectern to present award holders from the School of Education and Social Work.
Master of Arts in Education, Faiza Hussain. Cheryl Moore. Stephanie Woods. Vaisha Harris Nermeti. Bianca Mainzanise. Postgraduate Certificate in Education in School Direct, Primary and Early Years with Qualified Teacher Status, Stacey Flynn. Postgraduate Certificate in Education in Primary and Early Years with Qualified Teacher Status 5 to 11 years, Shamila Begum. Peter Hartley. Hassan Junaid. Rehana Kauza. Postgraduate Certificate in Learning and Teaching in Higher Education, Elizabeth Burton. Michelle Dyke. Michael Greenhouse. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Conductive Education Studies, Rekha Samandi. Amira Kauza. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Early Childhood Studies, Zara Abid. Mehrun Nisa Ahmed. Zahir Ahmed. Safaya Ahmed. Lina Alakozai. Shireen Ali. Shabina Amin. Marianne Barno. Ursa Butt. Amelia Chadwick. Kenya Cohen. Medea Judy. Amrit Dariwal. Bailey Dillon. Jessica Fowler. Sophie Hardaway. Lucy Hartland. Megan Hill. Chloe Hodgetts. Zara Hussain. Hafaisa Ibrahim. Rimsha Iqbal. Iman Islo. Ezra Ishmael. Tamina Jahan. Ayman Javid. Parampreet Kaur. Nafisa Kulsum. Jasmine Lamptey. Fatima Lunat. Nafisa Mahmood. Safa Malik. Mariam Maqsood. Wanisa Mesgari. Sandra Machieka. Alina Mirza. Muna Mohammed. Sarah Mohammed. Bethany Murphy. Asifa Nazneen. Rana Alewa. Lara Parton. Atika Parveen. Dogbida Zanaki. Bethany Scrimshaw. Sabaya Shaban. Sabah Shiraz. Aksad Siddiqui. Hafsa Yazin Hassan. Umama Zaira. Ifra Zubaya. Okay. It's simple. Hasharon Diol. Meisha Rahman. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Education Studies, Amal Abdul Wahid. Hana Ahmad. Lamisha Ahmed. Akhlima Akhtar. Alima Ali. Mariam Ali. Kainat Amin. Zanera Begum. Jaden Carberry White. Kate Dawson. Karish Damblulo. Sharita Farmar. Ishwak Habe. Megan Hill. Aksa Hussain. Ifat Hussain. Baja Hussain. Page Island. Alicia Jasal. Shahan Jiong. Atika Kozar. Rukia Khan. Alaya Mariam. Talala McKinley. Rahima Mazee. Aisha Naz. Afsan Nazir. Moona Noor. Umira Rafiq. Sarina Rai. Tayana Scott. Aisha Tanvir. Sana Umreen. Jaden Whitehouse. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Primary Education with Qualified Teacher Status, Sabina Begum. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Primary Education Studies, Thomas Hunt. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Primary Education with Qualified Teacher Status, Nabila Khan. Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Education Studies, Tanzila Yousaf. Postgraduate Certificate in Education in Primary and Early Years with Qualified Teacher Status 5 to 11 years, Hafsa Ibrahim. And this completes the first presentation of awards to graduates from the School of Education and Social Work.
And this completes the first presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Health, Education and Life Sciences. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor to introduce the recipient of the Honorary Doctorate of the University.
We are this evening delighted to be conferring the award of Doctor of the University upon Sir Mark Grundy, and I now call upon the University Orator to give the citation.
Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, colleagues, graduates. Today we confer the degree of Honorary Doctor of Birmingham City University honoris causa on Sir Mark Grundy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's hard to disagree with the observation that when it comes to social mobility, nothing is more important than education. It's also hard to disagree with the observation that while everyone should begin with an equal chance of success in life, regardless of income, postcode, ethnicity or gender, the differences in opportunity remain glaring. The Department for Education website tells us that the average annual funding allocation per state pupil in England is currently £5,101, but for a middle-ranking private school in our region, the fees are 3 times that figure. So how do we achieve excellence for all when the playing field is so very far from level? And that has been the lifetime preoccupation of our guest of honour today, Sir Mark Grundy, Chief Executive of the Shirelands Collegiate Academy Trust. His own secondary education was at the Magnus Grammar School in Newark, Nottinghamshire. From there he attended Loughborough University, obtaining an MSc in Human Biology in 1984. As an educator, he rose to prominence when, in 1997, he became head of a secondary school in Smethwick, then called Shireland High School and later Shireland Language College. Since 2007, the school has been at the core of the Shirelands Collegiate Academy Trust. And that academy has now grown to the extent that it includes 8 nursery schools, 5 primary schools, and 3 secondary schools. And there's more. Recently, at the government's request, the Trust has taken over one of the region's university technical colleges, in the process making it fully inclusive for 11 to 19-year-old pupils. And there's still more. From 2023, West Bromwich will be the home to the Trust's new City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra School, welcoming up to 870 pupils by 2026. And that will be a truly radical innovation, the first school of its kind in the UK, and a desperately needed intervention at a time when the teaching of music in schools and of creative arts in general has been sacrificed in the pursuit of more reductive agendas. Finding new ways to address what may seem intractable problems is part of Sir Mark's DNA. It's often said in policy circles that if you ask the Department for Education for an example of a school that is ahead of the curve in developing educational technology, the answer will be Shireland. When a former Secretary of State called for a revolution in the way schools approach EdTech, he named Shireland as a leader in the field. And that reputation led to government funding for 4 new technology primaries to be built from scratch in the Birmingham region, all to be run by the Shireland Trust. Shireland was also one of the first wave of 5 so-called research schools selected by the DFE and the Education Endowment Foundation in 2015 because they were already using evidence-based practice. And all that work has been built not just on technological or creative innovation, but on a relentless desire for improvement that extended beyond his own schools. Alongside leadership of Shireland, he was asked to effect a transformation in the hitherto poor fortunes of the George Salter School in West Bromwich. Strong distributed leadership, clear targets, an ethic of mutual responsibility for all, they were what achieved the outstanding results. And his work, and Shireland and beyond, was recognised by a knighthood in 2006. But the greater recognition, he would be the first to admit, is in the many thousands of young lives, some of them perhaps here today, that have prospered under his leadership. And not just those young lives, but the families and communities to which they have gone on to contribute. Sir Mark's influence extends also to partner organisations, including ourselves, whether it be through placements for trainee teachers and social workers, or the development of new research and evaluation. So, ladies and gentlemen, our graduating students today could hope for no better example of what it means to devote your career to the business of improving the life chances of the next generation, of making sure that ever more people can reach their true potential, whatever their background. So, Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, colleagues, graduands, it gives me great pleasure to invite the Vice-Chancellor to confer the degree of Honorary Doctor of Birmingham City University, honoris causa, on Sir Mark Grundy.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Vice-Chancellor, I exercise the authority of the University's Academic Board, and I'm delighted to confer the award of Doctor of the University honoris causa on Sir Mark Grundy. And I invite you, Pro-Chancellor, to present the commemorative medal. That completes the conferment of the award of Doctor of the University honoris causa, and I now invite Sir Mark to address the congregation.
You know, you would never know that for a living I stand in front of groups of people and speak on an almost daily basis. Perhaps not daily anymore. I thought I'd be quite calm tonight. I was completely wrong. Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. But to be honest, probably the most important group are you who are sitting in front of me. I have no idea whether any of you went to any of my schools. If you didn't, I don't mind. You look so proud today. Your families must be so proud. So, immense congratulations to you. This has been an interesting couple of years. And I think of all the things we've had to deal with, probably the can you say something inspirational and succinct in less than 4 minutes would be up there with the challenges I've had over the last couple of years. But I will be brief. I don't have a reputation for being brief. I just feel hugely privileged to be given this honorary doctorate. The most important thing for me is my partners that we work with. It always will be. and actually to be associated with Birmingham City University, given the position they have in this locality. The vast majority of the students who are here tonight are from this area. My schools have always pulled from our areas, and that's really important. The whole idea of community is hugely important to me. I've worked in this region for over 40 years. I'm not sure I always thought I'd be a public servant, but I can't think of a better thing to do. It absolutely has built my life, built the people I work with, but most importantly, built the young people in our care. And what we've done is we've learnt, we've taught, we've built, and we've evolved every year. And I was somewhat embarrassed to hear the comments about me, because it isn't about me, it's about the team I have. Many of my staff, many of my team have worked for me for lots of years, and that makes a huge difference. One of my team actually married me. That's real commitment. And in fairness, none of the others ever said they'd do it, so I'm even more impressed. But little people and big people, they all need the same thing if they're going to grow. What they actually need is they need to feel secure, and they need to be fed. And then when they're comfortable, they need to be stretched. And that's what my staff do. My staff understand our children, our families, our communities, and they get the most out of them. And for that, I'm massively grateful. And most of the time, so are my students. I realised recently that actually, whilst I didn't think my father had any great plan for my career, and I certainly didn't, that actually there was a sort of plan. And my father had a favourite poem. It was Rudyard Kipling's If. And in that poem, what it says is, it actually says, what we need to be is proud of what we are, and even if we can't be the best in our world. So graduates tonight, if you don't take anything else from what I've rambled on for 3.5 minutes on, do your best, make a difference. Because that's the most important piece. And that's what your university does. It makes the difference. Thank you so much, everybody.
I now invite Professor Ian Blair to continue the presentation of award holders from the faculty.
I invite Professor Kevin Mattinson to the lectern to continue to present award holders from the School of Education and Social Work.
Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Working with Children, Young People and Families, Anissa Akhtar. Maya Baines. Reepa Begum. Ruma Begum. Karen Berry. Abby Brooks. Leah Brooks. Kiana Cousins. Aisha Demba. Megan Henry, sorry. Serene Iqbal. Sarina Jan. Mariam Kamran. Zalukai Khan. Aisha Kanom. Cecilia Luong. Nicola Martin. Naira Naseem. Grace Richards. Shante Spooner. Carmen Tulu. Nadia Udine. Chloe Walton. Dana Weir. Tia Williams. Hafsa Zamir. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Social Work, Samira Aslam. Isabel Batchelor. Brian Bowes. Shakila Begum. Kainath B. Jessica Bolton McKinnon. Sir John Tay Burgess. Britannia Campbell. Jessica Daniels. Jennifer Deere. Margaret Duckhouse. Charlotte Fletcher. Faye Good. Donna Griffin. Fungai Juesu. Tanisa Horton. Lauren Haynes. Joanne Holland. Carla Hayden Hall. Olawa Bukola Jeboda. Aisha Johnson. Alicia Khan. Sonia Khan. Fatumane. Shana McGovern. Bathsheba MacLeod. Suzanne McTaggart. Patrice Mendez. Natasha Nadim. Lynette Nakube Kawanza. Estelle Norte. Princess Nua. Nofe Pefola Lua Oledegpo. Renika Straker. Lashian Price. Chanel Purville. Imran Rasool. Karma Rasool. Tiana Riley. Saffron Robinson. Victoria Rose. Samantha Sidaway. Sarah Stokes. Mark Turton. Anthony Tyrrell. Lauren Walker-Hughes. Michelle Watson. Jessica Westwood. Jade Williamson. Amira Zaib. Safia Zaman. Diploma in Education and Training in Post-Compulsory Education and Training, Gemma Evans. Anne Gallagher. Manasseh Jabin. Zaima Javed. Eula Mezentenza. Katie Parker. Laura Marie Smith. Zimak Zorab Nijad. Foundation degree in Arts in early years, Javaria Ahmed. Raina Ali. Jade Tia Clements. Rimsha Insar. Mariam Ittagar. Sidra Khalil. Wahida Khatun. Amani Mohammed. Leah Nichols. Kulsam Noor. Gasala Rafiq. Pauline Turnbull. And this completes the presentation of awards to graduates from the School of Education and Social Work.
And this completes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Health Education and Life Sciences. I now invite the Pro-Chancellor to close the proceedings. No, I don't, actually. No, not yet. Sorry, apologies. I now invite Sophie Hardaway, who graduated this afternoon with Bachelor of Arts with Honours Early Childhood Studies, to address the congregation.
Good evening and welcome to friends, family, staff and fellow graduates of 2022. It is a great honour to be asked to speak to you all today, a special day for us graduates, our families and friends. I would like to begin by thanking our Vice-Chancellor and Pro-Chancellor and other academic colleagues for giving up their time today to join us as we celebrate our academic achievements. It has not sunk in for me, which I'm sure is the same for many of my fellow graduates, that my degree and university experience is now over. I remember being absolutely thrilled that I was coming to Birmingham City University and could not wait to get started. I was nervous about moving into halls with people I'd never met before and having to say goodbye to my parents, not knowing what the next few weeks would bring, let alone the next 3 years. I never imagined that I'd be making lifelong friends and meeting academics who would inspire me to go above and beyond anything that my 18-year-old self could have imagined. I loved my course from the get-go and knew it was right for me. which is mainly down to my incredible lecturers who made it such a welcoming and enjoyable learning environment. This was, however, jeopardised by COVID-19, with lockdown and not being able to have face-to-face learning, see friends, and fulfil the full university experience. I can say, though, on behalf of the lecturers, fellow graduates, and myself, we made it through successfully, and I believe we should applaud ourselves for conquering and flourishing in such challenging times. Before I finish, I would just like to say a massive thank you to all the lecturers who helped me along the way. I never thought I'd be standing here today with a published journal article, and that is thanks to you. And I thank you from all my fellow graduates, who I'm sure also want to give their gratitude for the support you've given them on their incredible journeys. As we all go our separate ways, entering this new stage of our lives, following our own ambitions, we stay united as the BCU class of 2022, the year that got through a pandemic, and we will always be a permanent part of our university's history. Congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Come on, you can do a bit better than that. Sophie did a fantastic job there on your behalf. At the end of a very long day, I think it's also appropriate, would you just join me in applauding our musicians who kept you entertained before and after the song? So it simply remains for me to add my personal congratulations to all of those of you receiving awards today. I offer my very best wishes to you all for the future, whatever that may bring. But I'm not going to stand in your way any longer, as celebrations no doubt beckon with families and friends. So I now declare the congregation closed. We'd be very grateful if you stand and remain in your places while the stage processions now leave the hall. Thank you.
Thank